Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 7, In the Name of Honor. And Boba Fett, I guess, has been fighting with honor, sort of, throughout this season. I feel that I'll give my overall thoughts on the series as a whole at the end, but right now let's talk about this episode overall. What did I like? What didn't I like? I'm pretty easy on a lot of shows and movies that I watch, so I'm not very critical. If you've noticed throughout my videos in the past, and I don't like being very critical, but I will if I have to. Maybe for the series overall. But for the most part, I thought this series finale or the season finale, I don't know which one it is. I don't know if we're going to get another season of the Book of Boba Fett. But I thought this finale for season one was a worthy finale. I thought it took the momentum from the last two episodes and really took us on a nice landing with this episode. It's basically an all-out battle with the Pike Syndicate. Cad Bane is still there, and yeah, I think for the big battle, I think we got a pretty solid ending with this. We even get the return of Grogu, who is pretty predictable. So I'm glad they got it out of the way early on in the episode, where we see Grogu come. At first, they think it's one of the New Republic officers, but it turns out the X-Wing is actually Luke's X-Wing bringing Grogu to Tatooine. And that was great. It was great seeing the Grogu again, obviously from the past episode. We all knew he was going to pick the vest over Yoda's lightsaber, which I'm like, come on, Grogu, what's the matter with you? You should be smacked right now. A little spanking for you right there, because I would have picked Yoda's lightsaber, and I think Grogu should have picked Yoda's lightsaber. But I get it. It's the father-son dynamic, and it shows their attachment. And you gotta love their attachment, because when they are reunited in this episode, Mando and Grogu, it's such a little nice reunion. And to see, how much he loves Mando. Mando is pretty much his son. His father, right? And Mando looks at him like a surrogate son. So it was great seeing that reunion, of course. But Boba Fett getting to ride the Rancor, let's get to that. That was really awesome. We all knew it was going to happen because they kind of teased it in, I think it was chapter 4, where he tells the Rancor trainer, yeah, I want to ride this someday. So we all knew it was coming for the finale, that we'd see it by this point. So I actually forgot about it for a little bit until I saw the Rancor hands. I'm like, oh, Boba Fett's going to be riding this baby. So that was really fun and cool. Getting the showdown between Boba Fett and Cad Bane was really cool too, I think. I was disappointed. This is probably the biggest gripe I had with the episode, that they killed Cad Bane. I think, like a lot of fans, we wanted to see more live action Cad Bane. But then again, when you think about all these Disney Plus shows, there's still a lot taking place in the past. Like the Obi-Wan series takes place before all this, as well as Andor. So you'll never know. Cad Bane can always show up in any of those series that take place in the past. There's still a large enough timeline to for him to pop into. So it doesn't worry me too much, but at least now we know where he dies. So it's kind of like the Darth Maul situation, right? We know Darth Maul dies in Rebels when it gets closer to A New Hope. So there's, unfortunately, I would have liked to see Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan in live action, but obviously because Rebels did it, we're never going to see that in live action, because Rebels is canon. So what else did I like from this episode? I was kind of annoyed a little bit at the very end when Boba Fett and Fennec Shan were talking about, now that they got the whole place, they looked to each other and said, I don't know if this is us. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you set all this stuff up only to now realize, I don't know if this is for us. It's like, what was the point of this season? That kind of got me a little bit, that little conversation. I don't know. We'll see. I was, for the most part, yeah, I thought the action was cool in this episode. And I guess that's those new battle droids, whatever they were. Remember in Attack of the Clones they had, or no, throughout the prequels they had those droids that could activate the shield. I actually did think the lightsaber, or the dark saber in this case, was going to go through them, because in the prequels the lightsabers were able to get through those shield like things from those other battle droids in the prequels. And I thought these were going to be like, so it's an upgraded version of them. And sure, they were upgraded all right, because the shields, the dark saber couldn't even crack through. So they were tough. They were tough opponents, I'll say that. And hopefully we get to see more of them down the future. I'm surprised the First Order didn't use them in the newer trilogy. But who knows? Maybe it wasn't theirs to begin with, anyways, right? It looks like those belonged to the Pike Syndicate, but clearly they had some ideas from what the Trade Federation used in the prequels. So hopefully somewhere down the road, the First Order will be like, hey, maybe we'll use those things too. You'll never know. Other than that, yeah, it was a really solid finale. I really liked it. Not as good as the last two episodes, but really, it was a better landing than, I would say, Hawkeye. Hawkeye was a good season, but it didn't stick to the landing. I felt that finale was... I know Star Wars and Marvel are very different, but I'm looking at all the Marvel and Star Wars Disney Plus shows as a whole, because they bring off the same kind of fans, right? Most of the people that watch Star Wars are the same people that are watching Marvel on Disney Plus. So I looking at all the Marvel and Star Wars series, I felt this was one of the better finales. But overall, I'm going to say it's one of the weaker series, because I felt it was only saved with its last 3 episodes. The first 4 episodes were fine, but they weren't great. They were making me wonder, what's going to happen next, man? Is something better going to happen soon? And that did eventually happen once you get to episode 5, 6, and 7. So overall, I would say, yeah, it was an average season that was really saved by the last 3 episodes. So overall, it's kind of like Hawkeye, but in the reverse, where Hawkeye was actually pretty good in the beginning, then fell flat in the last episode. I would say this one was a little flat in the beginning, but then rose up in the last 3 episodes. So I would probably put this one over Hawkeye personally. But I think if I compare it to a lot of the other Disney Plus, Marvel, and Star Wars shows, I still think Mandalorian, one of the greats. WandaVision, another one of the greats. I really loved Falcon and Winter Soldier. I really loved Loki. And what was the other one? What If? I'd probably put What If over this one for sure. So with that being said, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Did you enjoy The Mandalorian? Or The Mandalorian. With the last 2 episodes, it felt like The Mandalorian. The Book of Boba Fett. Did you really enjoy The Book of Boba Fett? Tell me what you thought of the post-credits scene. I was a little confused at first because I didn't recognize the person in the bantha tube. And then I looked online. I tried asking, but nobody responded to me because I guess I'm a very easy, ignorable person. But I did do a little bit more digging. I went through some searching through Twitter, and people realized that was Cab Vanth, who was in the Bantha tube. So it looks like he isn't dead, and someone's bringing him back to life, maybe with a few modifications, because we saw that guy who saved Fennec Shan's life when she was dying. So it looks like Cab Vanth is not gone for good. So when will that happen? Will he be the new governor of Mos Espa? I don't know. We'll see what happens. It will be interesting to see. Maybe it's an all new series that will focus on Cobb Vanth instead of Boba Fett. So, but taking over where Boba Fett left off. Yeah. So with that being said, tell me what you guys think. And until next time, everybody, take care.